That was so, so beautiful. Thank you. That was such a pleasant surprise, too. Just like the mystic Hafez says that fear occupies the cheapest room in the house. And I want so much more for you. That's so beautiful. When we realize that fear has taken hold and is paying the cheapest rent. And when we could know and affirm for ourselves and one another, oh no, I want so much more for you. And this is the 5th Sunday of a 6-week series, and today happens to be called Vibrant Living. And Fearless, of course, I didn't know they were going to sing that, but Fearless happens to be in this chapter on vibrant living. And it's so powerful to get that we are consistently at a choice point. And I actually want to read what it says in here about fearless. I have come here to be fearless. Throughout our childhood, we learn to fear things which sometimes can hold us back later in life. Yet life is always working to help you become more fully the truth of who you are. The essence of your being, where you are free from fear. Fear of succeeding or failing, of intimacy or abandonment, is simply an opportunity to reconnect with your essence. Become willing to release your fear, embrace each opportunity with a grateful heart, and you will find yourself becoming ever more fearless. And the affirmation is, fear is a construct learned over time. Any fear I feel points the way to greater wholeness as I embrace the opportunity to heal myself. Fear points the way. That is so key to understand, that fear is not here to hold us back from being the complete high vibration that we truly are. Fear is just pointing the way within to let us know, hey, there's something stopping me here. But all we have to do then is know that we have within us to handle that which is before us, to do the inner work, to clear the way, so that we continue on our journey. And Reverend Charles asked me a few weeks ago, he said, you know, I think it'd be a great opportunity on March 22nd, since you're just coming back from the village, to share about your call to ministry. And I'll tell you something, in the moment I felt this conflict, because I thought, well, I can't talk about my call to ministry. We're doing this 6-week series. I've got to do what the chapter's talking about. Well, what do you think? They wrote the chapter for me. Every single quality in this chapter about vibrant living, which happens to be the element of air, is my life. So I invite everybody sitting here today to know that it is yours too, because it's no accident that we're all in this room together. You get it? If we're part of the conversation, even if we're just listening, be aware of the conversation going on in the head. Right? I can relate to that. Oh yeah, oh my God, that's happened to me too. Or if that did happen to me, this is what I would do. We know, right? That this inner dialogue is going on all the time. And when we listen, we can actually glean the golden nuggets from all of our experiences and go, wow, no accident that the theme for Unity of Birmingham this year, 2015, is living with nothing and no one against you. And we're doing this book, Who Have I Come Here to Be? And up till now, we've talked about elements like earth and fire and water. And today, we're incorporating the element of air. And when we get that air might seem like this invisible substance. When Gabriel rang the singing bowl, I could hear the vibration and I could feel it moving through me. Could you feel the vibration of that singing bowl? So what may seem invisible, if we tune into it, it's ever present and contributing to the vibration that we are, because we've talked about many times that we are all energy, and it shows up in these individualized, unique expressions of us each sitting here today. And because we're energy, we know that we can lower or raise our vibration. And when we can use the elements such as earth to ground ourselves in these physical bodies and use the earth to anchor ourselves so that we may soar, knowing that as that song spoke of a safety net, I see the earth in that sense as, and each one sitting here, as we are, the earth is a safety net so that we may soar. And when we are tethered and untethered at the same time, if that makes any sense, in my mind's eye, when I'm finding myself a little nervous or ungrounded, I close my outer eyes and go within, and I see myself tethered to the core of the earth. I see the roots going down out of the soles of my feet and into the core of the earth so that I can soar, so that I can let go and be who and what I came here to be. And so this book so powerfully invites us all into that space of asking ourselves, who have I come here to be? And then, for example, in this chapter on Vibrant Living, looking at a quality that calls to you. Things such as powerful and determined and tough. The cool thing is that tough takes on a whole new meaning for me, because in this book, when they say I came here to be tough, it's not about being macho or stuffing feelings or just, stand up, brush yourself off, and suck it up. They're talking about true toughness lies in the ability to stand firm in who you are, to stay focused and resolute in the face of ridicule, to refuse to allow the doubts of others to sway you. The journey of the soul requires such toughness. Stand tall and claim your spiritual toughness and harness the power within you. Doing so will help you overcome many obstacles on the path to transformation. The affirmation is, obstacles and doubts have no power over me. I am soul tough. I open to and claim my inner power on my path to transformation. And that is an example of using everything for my growth and upliftment. My experience has been, when I first heard this inner call to be a unity minister, I will tell you that I stood there and said, who, me? You can't be talking to me. And I set it aside. But I don't know if you've ever experienced this, but when something is a calling and when our souls are speaking to us, we can't set it aside for too long. It's going to come back around. And so again, I felt this call. And I said, now is not the right time in my life. Maybe later, when I've got it all together, when the ducks are all in a row, when I've figured it out, when all the dots have been connected. But I don't know about you. For me, the dots are being connected basically with every breath I take. And it's happening all the time. If we wait, we will die with the music in us. And that was too big of a risk to take. So with the fear, I said yes anyways. And I stepped off and I decided to go to Unity Village for the first time. This was about 10 years ago. My dad reminded me the other day, this has been a 10-year journey. And guess what? When he said that to me, something beautiful, there was no judgment in it at all. It was such a matter of fact. What a beautiful 10-year journey. I went off to Unity Village to do a week-long retreat called Journey to Wholeness. And at the end of that retreat, someone said, you know, for $10 extra, and prices have increased now, for $10 extra, you can start a transcript just in case you decide you might want to study on the path to becoming a licensed Unity teacher or a licensed and an ordained minister. And I thought, heck, I'll pay the $10 to have a transcript started, because you never know. That was it. That began my journey. And I just kept saying yes to the yes before me, and that happened to be one little baby step at a time. And pretty soon, that 10-hour credit turned into a completion of 250 hours of credit. And I graduated from the Spiritual Enrichment Program, which our very own Brenda Durham just graduated from at Unity Institute. This past Thursday, it was such an honor to be there with her to celebrate with the 12 other disciples from Unity of Birmingham. If you were there on this road trip, would you please stand? If you were at Unity Village this past week, representing Unity of Birmingham, thank you. And there are others downstairs. But I remember when I came out of my room, or one of the rooms, I was with my mentor on a Monday evening. I was there for 11 days at Unity Village. And this past Monday, I walk out, and there's Derek Ferrier going into his room to check in, you know, at the hotel. And I, of course, jumped up and down and ran over and hugged him, and it's hard for me to contain my enthusiasm. I was like, oh my God, you're here. It's so good to see him. And Anita popped up, and one by one, people started walking over, Barry and Sharon, all the Sharons. And it was like, oh my gosh, this is so surreal. They're really here. It was so beautiful. And then it got late, and I know some of the people who were probably going to go to sleep pretty soon, like take the party somewhere else. It was a very surreal experience to be at the Village, a place that I so love and has been such a part of my journey, and then to have these precious friends show up in support and you know, supporting me, and guess what? Supporting themselves. Because several had said I was just looking for an excuse to go to Unity Village. This seems like the perfect time. And so all along the way, I have felt resistance. I have heard, no, I cannot do this. I have had to call myself more fully forward and say there is absolutely no way that I would be given this call and not be given the wherewithal to actually achieve this. And 3 of the qualities in this chapter stand out for me so powerfully. And one of them is passionate. And you know how I like to play with words, and so the way I see passion and passionate is passing the I am that I am on. And so who have I come here to be? To share the good, to know that there's plenty for everyone, to know that this is a win-win world that we live in, that the universe has my back, that everything's happening on purpose, in purpose, for a purpose, and that I am being loved and supported. That absolutely every single thing is unfolding in favor, in my favor, therefore your favor, and that it's all happening when? Right now. Right now. And to tune into that passion and ask myself, who is it within me that wants to move forward and share a gift with the world, and to not cower and not hold back and not shrink and not say, ooh, might not be safe to shine my light out there. That might have been the experience. I know it was mine. And today is a new day. And then, one of the other keys for me has been victorious. And the experience of actually being in this ceremony on Thursday, and now I understand, you guys, why we create rituals and ceremonies. They're beautiful things. They mark incredible times in our life. And life is a time and a place to celebrate and to realize victorious. We are victors all together, one with each other, in celebrating the living, loving, laughing, joyful truth of who and what we are. And I did not know if my precious friend Victor was going to be here this morning or not. And of course, he didn't know that I chose victorious as one of the things that has gotten me to this place in my life. And months ago, I spoke about Victor, George Long's precious brother. We are the same age, and he was in the hospital last year in a time of seeming perceived time of a very big challenge, and actually fighting his way back. And back then, in the hospital, right, Victor? I said to him, when you are well, you will come to Unity of Birmingham, please. And especially, I want you there on March 22nd. And he's here. Would you please stand? Thank you, Victor. With his beautiful, precious family, Vendetta, his wife, and his beautiful children, and their mother, Barbara, and thank you, Victor.
Yes, thank you.
And I'm going to read what these authors, thank you, Victor, have to say about Victorious, and you see if it resonates with any part of you. First of all, Harry Truman said, in reading the lives of great people, I found the first victory they won was over themselves. Because we know there is no one else out there, is there? I have come here to be victorious. These are my words, and these are your words. The true inner victory is overcoming seeming obstacles and patterns that would keep you small. Allow your essence to prevail in releasing conditioned patterns that have held you hostage. Fulfill your dreams in spite of any critical inner voices that may have tried to stop you. Real victory means that everyone wins. And the power of love is all you need to make that happen. The affirmation is, I let go any thoughts of inadequacy or defeat. Love overcomes all inner obstacles, and I am victorious through the power of love. And we live in a just universe. That happens to be also one of the words that spoke to my heart so profoundly. And I will share with you by saying that it is just, and justice is the reason that I am an ordained Unity minister. Because my call to share my heart with the world is to demonstrate that there is plenty for all, that we are one, that when we allow our differences to fade away into the nothingness that they are, we rise up in unity consciousness as one. There is no room for againstness, and againstness falls away when we are claiming to be the living, loving truth. And when we open our hearts and we open our minds and we say, you know what? This is the way I thought it was, and I am willing to change my mind. I am willing for my mind to be changed. I am willing to allow all that no longer serves me to gently fall away and to open to the greatness that we all are. And when we choose to live with these values as examples, simply examples, and we are in integrity, into greatness I am. That is integrity. When we choose to know that there is plenty of room at the table for everyone. We are so blessed. Thank you.